All right, so match number 6 was between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore. All right, explain to me what happened during this match. This was a while back, so
Okay, yeah.
it's been a while.
Um, so I think first innings, one of the most important things to talk about here is even though De Villiers got out, so he got out for 1 for 5 from Rashid Khan. That's his lowest score. Obviously, he's done really well outside these games. Glenn Maxwell is still basically like their leading scorer, and
Yes, a nice 59 out of 41.
yeah, Particle. I think this is his first game today. Didn't really get started. Right, 11 off 13. Sundar, instead of opening, he's playing like 5 or 6. Thankfully, he should be right. I think this dude's had the best economy for RCB since 2019, something like that, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know why he's an opener. Like this dude's a very solid all-rounder bowler, right? Like Sunrisers Hyderabad, like they got delivered down to 1. Kohli didn't really get going. Particle didn't get going. No one really had big numbers besides Glenn Maxwell, right? They were able to make sure that no one really had a partnership for too long. Like 9 wickets.
So the match took place, yeah. So the match took place in Chennai. The strike rates were all pretty low, except Glenn Maxwell had around 140. So Sunrisers did well to reduce
really
RCB,
well.
who's always has RCB's always has the biggest batting lineup, and are able to score 200 all the time. So they did pretty damn well to reduce Virat Kohli, ABD, Washington Sundar.
I was gonna say, everyone got a wicket that bowled, right? Bhuvi's economy recently has been like above 10, but he's done well to only have 7.5 economy. Jason Holder, 3 big wickets. I think it was Maxwell. Look at it. Maxwell, Kohli, and Jameson, right? Rashid Khan, also amazing. Economy of 4.5. So if you're someone who's Hyderabad and you haven't chased twice already, you're thinking that this is the game you do it, especially the game where only one player for RCB's done it. And Sunrisers had good catches, they had good fielding throughout too, right? And then they just
so they went with Jason Holder. Did they win with Jason Holder?
Which I think is a good decision, just because he did well on the bowling side.
He did, but who did they drop with the Jason Holder in there?
I forgot.
I don't think Nabi played then, right?
Nabi didn't play now.
No, so and it is Chennai, which means you probably might want the other spinner in there. But I don't think bowling was not their problem. So I think.
And the thing is, their main spinner did do well, so that proves right. And it just goes back to it just goes back to RCB. It just goes back to Riddhiman Saha opening. Man's opened 1 off 9.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
we're going back to his one game last season. He had one game where he did extremely well.
I
don't know if that one game is justified.
Has he got double digits yet? This I'm not sure.
I don't think so. They're being greatly impacted by the fact that Kane Williamson is injured, and they're not allowed to have him in the middle order because of that. And so they have to consistently figure out: do they open with Bairstow? Do they put him in the middle order to make that a little bit more stable? Like, what do they do? Because Bairstow for the England side, he is in the middle order, right? In the T20s. But in the recent matches, he's been opening as well after they realized Saha's not been working. I mean, it seems like whatever SRH does, they just can't get their chases off.
They just can't. Especially when you have, especially this game when Riddhiman Saha didn't start off well. That's fine. David Warner still played well, decent, right? Manish Pandey, low strike rate for somebody hitting 3rd, right? But he still got 38 runs. After that, it just capitulated. This team was 115 for 3 at 16.1 overs. So if I'm looking at that, you have 4 overs left to get 30 runs, and you have 7 wickets left, and you somehow expend 5 wickets in 4 overs, right? There's that one over where Bairstow was pathetic, right? 12 off 13. Abdul Samad, the same dude who went off last game, didn't do anything. Vijay Shankar, as usual, didn't do anything. Jason Holder couldn't get anything. Rashid Khan was hitting a little bit here and there, but He got run out
Yeah, it was pretty
stupidly,
funny.
right?
He did have 118 strike rate though.
There's that one over Shabazz. So let's go to the RCB bowling. Mohammad Siraj quickly got rid of Ridhiman Saha, right? This dude's a monster. Jameson, I don't give a damn. Washington Sundar, pretty good economy. Chahal, for some reason, he either gets wickets or stops runs. He's not been doing that well, basically.
I don't know. So in this match, he didn't get wickets, but he had a low economy. Yeah. So it's like you give it a yes. Sometimes he does one thing, sometimes he does the other.
Harsha Patel, once again,
death bowling.
This dude's had I think already 10 wickets by now for this team. Shabazz Ahmed, his second over, he allowed 1 run and took 3 wickets. 2 of those wickets being Pandey and Bairstow back to back, and then he got Samad like 3 balls later. That over in the 16th over basically changed everything. Because then Rashid couldn't really carry. Vijay Shankar once again god awful. Jason Holder I expect better, but he did get out against Suraj. So like RCB bowl, it was better. It was more about RCB bowling really well towards the end than Sunrisers choking. But if I'm looking at this, like with the 4, if I have 4 overs left, 7 wickets to take, and 30 runs to get, that is a very achievable target in IPL.
Yeah, you can even rotate the strike a little bit.
They're just finding ways to lose. Like RCB played well, but I think just looking at the scorecard and the game, it was about Sunrisers' failure to chase.
I think overall, if we look at it, my prediction at the beginning of this tournament was Sunrisers would be one of the top 2 because they play 5 of their matches in Chennai, and I thought using Rashid and Nabi, they'd be able to reduce the teams to a lower total and chase them down. The problem I realized was I got half of it right. They've been able to reduce the teams down to relatively low totals, but they've not been able to chase the scores down.
And that's what
a massive problem.
And I remember, like, if you have a team, like, it's going to be hard to play Warner, Bairstow, and Williamson, right? Even if you play 2 or 3 of them, like, and the thing is, Bairstow didn't do well this game, but 2 players still played well. No one else played remotely well. Like it's not even like they had like, we'll get into other games later, but like this team after those 2 dudes, no one else you can say like had like a good knock to control the game. All the bowlers just attacking them. And like RCB, like Siraj, I know Harsha Patel is going to be this good, and they're going to have these. Most of the bowling lineup is really young, right? Like young talent that they haven't seen before that much. For me, that's why Chahal's like figured out now. I mean, I don't think
guess you could say so.
I don't think Harsha Patel is gonna be this good for like longer, right? You're gonna like, there's a lot of young kids that come into the IPL and they're just new, so it's easier. But, like still, and one thing,
every season though, there always seems to be that one guy who makes headlines.
And we'll move on to the next game.
That might be him.
I was gonna say we'll move on to the next game after this. I think Harsha Patel will be that guy for a while. We'll see what playoffs come.
So how do you think RCB? Actually, RCB's played one more game after this, right? So we'll get to RCB's overall record. Yeah. So we'll get to RCB's overall thing after.
I was gonna say Sunrisers are finding ways to lose, which is I did not expect.
Yeah.
And then, RCB, like they just like Kohli's not even playing Kohli level, and they're 3-0.
But they're doing it, and they proved that they don't need AB to like score every time. And
that's the scary part. Like, I'll get to Mumbai about that later too. Like,
because we'll get to what happens with both AB and Glenn Maxwell scores in the next game.
And
for
Kohli,
RCB, we'll talk about
and
that.
Kohli, then you get like a 231 chase. But yeah, next game.
Yeah.
Next game.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Rajasthan against DC.
Yeah.
I don't think we made predictions for this, but I was definitely thinking DC because Rabada was back. But Sal, do you want to start?
Okay, so let me just pull up everything. So Rajasthan Royals versus Delhi Capitals. Delhi actually lost a game. So Rajasthan actually won a game, which was pretty surprising. All right, so this is what happens when Delhi's top order fails. So Delhi, I think, personally, Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan, they rely on pretty damn heavily. Okay, Pant is going to be pretty hit or miss in this IPL, in my opinion, because he carries on that extra captaincy role. After that, I don't think they have anybody. I still don't know why they're playing Tom Curran. I just don't, okay? But when Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan fails, I don't think DC are going to get any like high scores whatsoever. And in the end, you could say Rajasthan Royals even almost, bottled up the chase pretty bad, which was pretty amazing. I think let's start with the first innings, Rajasthan Bowling and Delhi batting. Let's start with that first.
So
what did you see as the biggest thing on that?
So I think first thing was I saw a tweet that said Chris Wokes hasn't played a T20 for England since 2015, and DC
I could see that.
And DC
he's in the ODI.
And DC still prefers Chris Wokes to Tom Curran.
Yeah, and they played them both in this match.
And
I'm pretty
well,
sure they
right?
have. I
so,
don't know.
Okay, so we'll get into the batting. Like you said, it's a little bit top.
I just can't they have to have somebody else besides Tom Curran, right? Like
I think
now they have Norkia and what's his face, Rabada. Now they have both of them, right? So one of them's going to slot in for Tom Curran easily.
So here's the thing: Tom Curran's an all-rounder,
still,
right?
Yeah, but you can't.
If you also mentioned about middle, or like Tom Curran and Sam Curran are still pretty decent, like middle power hitters. Like if you need that, like
no man,
20 on what?
No.
Sam. Okay, I mean Sam Curran's.
Have you seen Tom? No, Sam Curran. Yes, Sam Curran. Obviously, yes.
He's just
Tom Curran. No.
He did get bowled out by Bangladeshi, which is impressive.
No, I've seriously, even for the England, I've every single time a team goes with Tom Curran, okay, there's always like, oh, he's almost as good as Sam Curran. He's gonna do well. This will be his match. It's never his match ever.
Wait, okay, let's go back on track. So I'll go to the batting. Right, obviously the top order besides Punt, dreadful. No one has, like, literally the bottom order played better than the top order, and I don't think I can say that for many games. Right, like even the bottom got 9 off 4, like Chris Wokes at 15 off 11.
It was pretty. All your strike rate numbers are at the bottom. It was pretty impressive by Shaw and Dhawan during this match, though.
And then I was going to the bowling because obviously the bowling was the best part of this. This team was 37-4 after 7 overs.
Okay, let's talk about actually the biggest part, which is Rajasthan's bowling. Unatkat 4 for 15.
Yeah. So
pretty damn impressive.
I forgot how good this dude was. This dude takes wickets, right? And within 3 overs.
And 3 wickets, yeah.
In less than 3, I mean, I know his stats are 4, 15, 3, but yeah, within 3 overs, he took 3 wickets, conceded 12 runs, and his 3 wickets were the top 3: Shaw, Dhawan, Rahane, right? And like they were all like really good wickets, really taken nicely. And this team, DC's 37-4 in 7 overs, and you're thinking, Rajasthan's not great, but like DC's kind of capitulated. I mean, it's mostly more Unatkat being better. Like it's gonna take a while to like get back. And then Rishabh Pant comes in, right? He's playing well, and then he just gets run out, and I just hate run outs. It was good. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was a good fielding. It was a good turn. But Punt shouldn't have run, right? Like I know, like you're skimping on runs, right? But
I mean, they were looking at 160, 165 with Rishabh Pant there. That would have probably been enough with the way Rajasthan showed their chase.
And they didn't have. I don't think you have to chase. Because I think Marcus Stoinis didn't play well, but I think he does have. I think you can trust him a little bit. But like I said, back order played better than the top order, which I think was a little good redemption from them, right? Like, Curran, Wokes, Ashwin, Rabada all had strike rates over 100. Not that it matters that much. But they did play really well, considering where they were.
Yeah, especially for tail-enders,
And then in comes Rajasthan.
Before we move on to the second innings, I want to talk about... I want to talk about Ryan Parag first. We'll talk about him during CSK's match against Rajasthan as well, but Ryan Parag has this new action that he uses sometimes, where he bowls semi-round arm, like almost Malinga style, but not really. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Okay. It's a little weird, but we might talk about that more in the CSK innings because he did it a lot more during today's match against CSK.
Yeah.
But I just want to leave it at that has to be illegal. Okay. But we'll move on. We'll move on to Rajasthan's innings. Yeah.
Besides Unatkat, I don't think there's anyone that impressive for Rajasthan. And then you think if you're Rajasthan, this is the game that you can win. And they start off, Butler 2 for 7, Manan Vora 9 for 11, Sanju Samson 4 for 3, Shivam Dubey 2 for 7, Rayan Parag 2 for 5. This team is 42-5 after 9.2 overs, and I remember looking at this and I was like, what? This team's not even that good at bat. This team's not even a top heavy order, right? like Butler, they took out Ben Stokes for David Miller, and thank God, because I don't think Ben Stokes could have done this. David Miller, being the South African legend he is, IPL legend he is, comes through, and he basically carries his team back into contention from being 42-5. He gets a partnership with Durate, goes to 90 of 6, but then he gets his team from 42-5 to 104 for 7 in 5 overs. And then at that point,
scoring at a 144 strike rate, which is pretty.
And that too, you're still going against you're going against Chris Brooks, Avish Khan, Rabada, Ashwin, Curran.
I remember we saw the end of this match. I remember now because Chris Morris came into bat, and I was like, "Will Chris Morris be able to do it?" Yes, no. He was scoring sixes at the end, and they just fell short at the end.
No, they didn't. They won.
I'm sorry. Delhi Capitals fell short.
And it was the kind of thing as Chris Morris. Like, you see him as a bowler more
I'm
so.
going to make that clear. Rajasthan did not deserve to win this match, is what I wanted to make clear.
Yeah.
And,
No, I agree. David Miller carried the... Like, they played really well, right? They played really well to start off the bowling. They had a worse start. It took a South African captain to get up, right? And then you have, like, Avish Khan, who basically cleaned up the middle order, right? He basically, like, shut the doubts. David Miller comes in, does enough. And I also forgot that Chris Morris was an all-rounder, right? But this dude does know how to hit. He's big, South African, right? 27 off 12, and he just connects with the right places. And to do that against, I think he went up against Rabada and Tom Curran. Going against Tom Curran's not that much of an achievement, but he took Rabada out for a couple of boundaries and
No, but going against Rabada is an achievement. So
I mean, the bowling was pretty decent besides a couple people for.
But Sanju Samson, man, like, come on.
He scored five.
He's
five
always
that.
He's always that IPL dude that has the brilliant first 1 or 2 matches and then just can't do it afterwards. And he would be my wicketkeeper pick for the Indian team if he was just a tad more consistent. Seriously, because we need that strike rate in the Indian team that KL Rahul seems to just not have anymore. But I don't know. Okay, whatever. But he's a pretty sad case.
Now we can move on to probably the biggest surprise of the week.
Oh, this was
Kings and
pretty
CSK.
Special.
I didn't watch this game, but I didn't think I had to watch it.
I actually I didn't watch this one either.
I didn't even at some point I didn't have to watch it. They were dominant on both ends, which is not something.
I was just doing laundry on this day and I kept checking the score. Okay,
and this
every time.
This is literally
kind of hilarious.
This is literally the same. The day before, 2 days before, we were saying how CSK has to change up their batting, they change up the team, get rid of Gaikwad, take out Moeen Ali, right? And this game, I mean, no, I won't get Moeen.
No, I still stand by that. I still think Gaikwad needs to get the boot.
Hold up. Okay.
But I was wrong about everything else.
But Moeen Ali played really well this game and the next game where they dominated both. But besides that, let's take it first. Hats off.
No. I was wrong about. We'll address that point. I was wrong about changing up their bowling, and especially after these last 2 matches, which we'll get to this match. But after the last 2 matches, they do not need to change up their bowling too much. I don't think. But I still think Gaikwad needs to be removed.
I think Gaikwad a little bit too much. I don't think Moeen Ali should be removed.
Let's talk about the first.
So before we get into the batting specifically, I just want to give a hats off to Ravindra Jadeja for being everywhere. And this dude took 2 catches. He run out KL. Really good run out. Once again, stupid for an opening batsman to get run out, especially in the second, third over.
Why would you take on Jadeja? This is my question. Because there was no chance of a run. If you see that run, there was no chance of a run whatsoever. And man, Jadeja just did it. It was pretty insane.
Because so what happened for KL's run out was that I think maybe it was Tucker or Chahar, but one of those bowling and Gale almost gets out for LBW, right? Amongst all the confusion, Gale doesn't know what to do, but it goes off his pads. He runs. Jadeja, being the leopard that he is, pounces on it, throws out Rahul, right? And then literally the next over, Gale slices it and Jadeja makes a brilliant catch. And I'm like, literally, if there's any other fielder, 90% of other fielders,
I know.
Rahul and Gale both would have been there. He did so well, and he's the reason why this team Punjab started off 19-4 after 5 overs. The same team
So
we were
we'll give a
boasting about
special
with their
to Deepak Chahar. Deepak Chahar gave his Harshal Patel
yeah.
performance of the IPL, I think. 4 for
Deepak
13, 4 wickets, 3.25 economy, 18 dots. He castled Mayank Agarwal. That's a ball of the tournament, in my opinion. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful.
He came in guns blazing. Like the vision, the eyes this dude had in the balls he was bowling, unbelievable. 18 dots in 4 overs.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right?
That's 3 overs of dots right there.
And I want to say he's the one ball where where Rahul got out, KL got out, but he castled Mayank, right? Gale got caught, Deepak Hooda got caught, Nicholas Puran, I'm pretty sure it's another duck for him, something like that. Literally Shah Rukh Khan was the best batter. And that's
Shah Rukh Khan, I was memeing him before because Bollywood, but he did come through in this match a little bit because it was literally looking like Punjab would be all up for like 70, and that was kind of sad.
Yeah, he made the game somewhat salvageable. If you want to get into the bowling real quick, Chahar once again amazing. Sam Curran, economy of 4. Jadeja played really well too, I'd say. 14 dots and 4 overs. Moeen Ali got a wicket. Dwayne Bravo
still has the death bowling, which I'm pretty impressed with.
Shardul Thakur, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Shah Rukh Khan just targeted Shardul Thakur. Once again, this dude's way too expensive. But he does get wickets.
Again, he was so good for the England team, but there's now 3 matches. Well, okay, at this point it's only 2, but it's now 3 matches where Shardul Thakur has been expensive. And it's kind of concerning.
But he usually gets wickets too. He has been getting wickets.
He does, and he has not, yeah.
And then...
but what do you think of Deepak Chahar, though, in terms of swing bowling? Because when the swing is on, I seriously think he is second to Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, in my opinion.
At their best.
But...
At their best, yeah.
But... No. Like... As a swing bowler, not as Bumrah and all that are obviously better, but
Bhuvi hasn't played that well. But I'm saying if you talk I still trust him. He just hasn't been playing well. Deepak Chahar I think is still young enough to the point where I still have to see more.
Apparently, I learned Deepak Chahar had the lowest. He had 6 wickets for 7 runs or whatever as the best T20 performance. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, these good scores only come out when the players do well. So every time it changes. Okay, but CSK's reply should have been a very easy chase. I was honestly expecting to chase it in 12 overs. It is Mumbai after all. It did look a little hairy at the end for some reason, but they got through pretty safely.
I remember the commentator was like, have CSK found a way to lose? And I was like, bro, no.
Okay. Gaikwad 5 for 18.
16.
Dude. 5. Okay, I can't read. 5 for 16. What's happening?
And it's not even 5 for 16. It's one thing to go against Mumbai. It's one thing to go into DSE. 5 for 16 when the bowling attack is Shami and Arshdeep Singh.
No, it's kind of.
Is it Arshdeep? Is it? I mean, Arshdeep.
No, and he did eventually get out to Arshdeep Singh. Yeah.
And he did, and I think here's the worst part, honestly. If you look at Kings,
Arshdeep Singh was he was pretty good last season.
If you look at Kings bowling, Arshdeep Singh is the best bowler. Because
I know.
Because whenever Arshdeep plays consistently well, Shami has had some really good games. This game was good. The game he played recently, we'll get into that. Absolutely dreadful. Jai Richardson, not bad. Riley Meredith, he's usually more expensive. Morgan Ashwin, a lot better than that. The economy of 10 is inexcusable, but yeah. Gaikwad, not good. Duplessis, I mean, they just made it really chill, right? They didn't need to rush.
So I see Faf, he did not want anything too crazy to happen. We know he can play aggressively, as we saw today, but
he's getting
Moeen Ali is coming through as the buy of the tournament for CSK. And the buy of the tournament, maybe. And Glenn Maxwell might be the buy of the tournament, but Moeen Ali definitely up there.
Duplessis is getting 2019 flashbacks.
Yeah. What do you think of Raina, though? I mean, after the first match, I thought Raina would pull through. He seems to have a serious weakness against the short ball, but he's always had that. So
he's always the issue. I think Raina's issue is he's a bit aggressive sometimes.
Yeah. But okay, as much flag as we're giving it, we can't expect CSK to chase this in 12 overs. They're CSK, okay? So in the end, they got a nice run rate boost.
It's just about the win, right? Moeen Ali seemed like he was in a rush, right? He got out eventually, but this game has nothing to say about how good CSK, how good Kings bowling or batting was, or how bad it was. This was a CSK statement, right? Their batting was.
You texted me statement win after the match
Yeah,
was
they're,
over.
like their batting was really slow, but like they won. Like it's not like they had to rush it through. They still kept like 6 wickets in hand, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they surprised us again later. But yeah. So here's another one.
But we'll get to that. Yeah.
Mumbai Sunrisers. So before
All
we
right.
start with
I
this game,
seriously
I just want to
do not
say
know.
that Mumbai
Yeah,
has
go ahead.
not scored more than 160 runs yet.
Have they not? Seriously?
No, they haven't scored more than 60.
Wow. Okay. No, that's actually surprising with the batting lineup there. But they're playing in Chennai, their nemesis ground, I guess you could say. But
So,
dude, what's happening with Sunrisers?
do you
Honestly,
want to start?
3
Or should I
losses
start?
in 3 matches. I just can't, dude. I thought they would be top 2 at the beginning of the season. I seriously did. Okay, and then they just cannot do it at all. Okay, whatever. First innings, Mumbai was batting first. Quinton de Kock made a run a ball effectively, 40 runs off of 39. Rohit Sharma, 32 off 25. Surya Kumar Yadav had his one bad game of the season. Ishan Kishan, I have no idea what's happening to this guy whatsoever, but he's having some major issues. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was expensive, like 11.25 economy in 4 overs.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not like 6 dots in 4 overs. This dude usually is capable of getting like 15 dots in 4 overs. So before I get into the bowling, I just want to say, Cameron Pollard once again shows IPL is like ageless. Like,
did he not get the 2 sixes at the last? I think that's what pushed Mumbai to 150, right? Because he got the 2 sixes at the last 2 balls.
He just like this dude's a veteran. This dude's like he might like he's still really strong, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's just about like
it's like age only improves him. Okay?
It just has to be the day where it just has to be a good day, and if he's there for like 2 overs, he can smash 20. If he's there for 3 overs, he can smash 30.
I mean, my most surprising fact is I think Pollard's only 33.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, that's the thing too.
That was my most surprising fact of this match. Is I searched it up afterwards. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
That explains a lot.
I'm like, he's been around forever, and he's only 33. Yeah. That means in that 2010 final, which I remember him from between CSK and Mumbai, he was only like 23 during that match. That's kind of insane.
It's crazy because he was a beast then too. Gale, I think I just assume he's Gale's age. That's why Gale's a lot older, obviously. One thing, if I was Mumbai, I'd be concerned about the winning, which is fine. But Hardik Pandya hasn't been Hardik Pandya. Not that
they're always going to win.
He hasn't had to be Hardik Pandya, right? In the sense that they haven't chased. I think they've set records, right? Is it the past 3 times they've batted first? So he hasn't had to be Hardik Pandya, but still.
No.
Going to the bowling, Bhuvi expensive, Khalil Ahmed good, Mujib was a good addition. So Nabi, he played well. To be honest, he got out. Quinton and Ishan Kishan. Vijay Shankar, not bad honestly. 8 dots, 3 overs,
actually, no.
2 wickets. But we'll get into how much of a shit show.
Always gonna be good.
We'll get into how much of a shit show he was in the actual game. But yeah, Rashid Khan, outstanding. Right, like easily the best.
I see you don't consider bowling to be the actual game. No, I'm joking.
Rashid Khan, outstanding. And if you're Sunrisers, you're thinking 150 runs. It's doable. And your lineup.
But no, okay. But here's the
starting
thing. Pollard
off
hit the
with Warner and
Pollard hit the 2 sixes, right? No. Pollard hit the 2 sixes. That's got to leave a sour taste in your mouth because now they're chasing 150 instead of 137 or something.
Understood, but they barely got even to 130. They got to 130s. Like.
No, actually, if it was 137, I feel like they would have won. Okay,
and
whatever. That doesn't matter.
Here's how I know
that doesn't matter. They're still tasting 150, and they have batsmen. They have Warner. They have Bairstow. They have Pandey. They have proven batsmen. They should be able to do this, but they don't.
So one thing I said.
So what went wrong?
So one thing I said. Bhuvi had really bad bowling. Everyone else was solid. Mujib played well. Rashid played well. The thing I said about Vijay Shankar, he got 2 wickets for 3 overs, but he did drop Pollard on 18 runs.
He did.
And it was like a bad drop. It was like a very easy catch, like you walk kind of catch. He kind of fumbled it. Yeah. That could have changed the game a lot. Like, I'm not gonna keep shitting on the dude. There was nothing like
because he was in the World Cup 2019 squad for some reason.
There was.
I still don't understand why, but whatever. Whatever. I don't.
There was no like immense wicket taking from Sunrisers. Like they didn't stop. Like they stopped Mumbai from having like all these partnerships. and they stopped Mumbai from really having those power overs except the last two balls. So I think they did really well. I wish they took more wickets. I think that's what stopped. I think that's definitely 150 for 5 is a very pedestrian score, right? If you're at 150, you're usually at 150 for 9, 150 for 8, right? Because you're running out of time. These dudes just didn't hit that strong. I think Mumbai is. I think the pitch also played a big factor into that.
But here's my thinking, okay? I'm thinking this. So, two things I'm thinking. One, what I was saying about Vijay Shankar is the fact that Jadeja still, I mean, probably he does now, but before he did not even have a guaranteed spot in the Indian team, which is stupid. But Vijay Shankar was still up there for some reason, which I think has changed now. So I'm not going to go in too much onto that. I think the second thing I was thinking was after the first innings was over, I still backed Mumbai to defend this total because Sunrisers have not been able to chase if their openers did not do well, right? The problem is their openers did well this match. David Warner did the anchor role, run a ball.
They didn't play well. Amazing, right? But
and then
if you look
Bairstow
at it, they
did 43 off 22, right? So you think, okay, that's a solid start. We can chase 150 from that. And then everyone just collapsed.
I'm looking at this, and there's 67 of 1 after 7 and 2 on 2 overs. That's 9 a ball. That's really good for chasing 150, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I know Sunrisers just have everything against them. Bairstow got out by hit wicket, right?
That was the stupidest. I can't do.
David Warner gets run out, right? And not only did you just concede 2 sixes or however many runs at the last over that put that total up a bit, now within an over and a half, you lost your opening batsman to two of the stupidest ways to get out, barring obstruction.
Yeah,
right? Actually, they lost Bairstow then Pandey, but then they lost Warner through some bullshit run out, right? And now you have 60 runs to chase. You have 8.5 overs and 7 wickets. Repeat that: 60 runs, arguably more than 60 balls. 56 balls, right? 50 something balls and 7 wickets, and you go 11 of 12, 20 of 25, 2 of 4, 7 of 8, 0 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 1, 1 of 2, right? Literally, so Rahul Chera picked up big wickets, right? He got out Pandya, he got out Virat, he got out Abhishek Sharma. He got 3 wickets, right? And then Pandya didn't play that well. Pollard played pretty decent. Milner played ass, right? But then Bolt and Bumrah just attacked these dudes that don't know how to bat. Simple, done. Bowl, out, run out. By the time Sunrisers lost their 5th wicket in the 15th over, it was done. Because what is Abdul Samad, Rashid Khan, Bhuvi, Mujib, Khalil gonna do to
why are they sending
2.5
Samad in at
overs
7, dude?
Of
why?
Bolt and
He's
Bumrah.
your highest striker.
And
I don't understand the SRH management at all. Seriously.
They're
sending Samad in at 7. Samad should come in at 5 before Vijay Shankar. Okay? Vijay Shankar should not even be in the team, first of all. Okay? No, I'm joking. Seriously.
He didn't even play bad. Vijay Shankar didn't play badly, but so I want to go back to this. He, I think, was the 8th wicket, just looking at it, right? But he was there for a while, right? So I think he came in at around inning 14, right? 20 off 25, right? And you need 17 off the last over, right? But if you're in there since the 14th over, by the 11th over you need 60 off 56. If I'm Vijay Shankar and I know that I should be one of the more dominating batsmen out of the rest of the batsmen that are coming in, I should be the one coming in and dictating the pace of the game. He let the pace get out of control or too far away from. And then you're left having to score 16 runs in the last over. 27 runs in the last 2 overs against
Bolt and
against
Bumrah.
2 of the best death bowlers. And then you get out.
That's always been the problem.
And then
when
you just leave everyone
Mumbai.
else. Yeah, and then Bolt just cleans up. LBW, Bolt, done.
So something for other teams to take into account when chasing against Mumbai, I think that's very important, is, you cannot leave so many runs against Bolt and Bumrah. They're just going to take you out of the game. You have to get the chasing done effectively effectively done by the 18th over. Because 19 and 20 are not going to be good enough for you to get enough runs. 10 runs maybe, okay, in those 2 overs.
Also, I just realized
you can't do anything more than that.
we didn't go over best and worst player for the past 4 games. Do you want to go back or do you
No,
want
it's
to
okay.
skip?
It's fine. We kind of did. We kind of shit on a
I'll
bunch
say
of
for
players.
this game, I will give it to Chehar. I don't know. I feel like it was more of a Mumbai team effort. And the worst player, I'm gonna say is. Honestly, I could say Bhuvi. I could say Bhuvi.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I would give it to Bhuvi as well.
I say it's either Bhuvi or one of the 8 batsmen for Sunrisers.
But it's seriously, yeah, it's like all of Sunrisers. No, but that's the thing, because I hate picking worst and best player, because like
I think best players.
You know,
I think with best player, what happens is very moment based.
I would agree with Bumrah as best player and Bhuvneshwar Kumar as worst player.
I think best player is very moment based. Like the RCB game, Shahbaz Umar that gets 3 wickets in over. I think that moment changed the game, so he should be best player. Or like Chris Morris winning it for Rajasthan, right? Like he only played 3 overs, right? But best player. Let's go to game 10.
All right.
RCB KKR. Its final score: RCB 204 and 4 of 20. And KKR 166 of 8, and this is what we said.
Classic RCB.
Virat once again does not play anybody near standards. Devdutt Padikkal, okay innings. Rajat Patidar, don't know.
Actually, Padikkal was pretty bad. I didn't actually know.
Padikkal was okay. He scored some.
They're playing at Chennai, dude. You do not score 200 at Chennai, but apparently you do if you have Glenn Maxwell and AB de Villiers.
Maxwell and AB de Villiers easily proved that they're the best batting duo in IPL
ever.
Right now. No, in IPL right now.
In a long time.
I think this pairing itself is already the best so far at 12 games. They're playing like Kohli's there, even though Kohli's not there. Like they're winning like Kohli is playing like Kohli. They're scoring 200 runs like they have Kohli, but they don't.
Imagine if Kohli for a second stole some of Padikkal's balls and scored at like 150 strike rate off of that. They'd be like 230 at Chennai. Like, come on.
And they've done that before.
That's gonna be insane, dude.
And not to shit on KKR's bowling that much, but I will. None of them seem to have controlled the game, and that's obvious because once it hit so they had a good start, 9 of 2 after 2 overs, right? They get their first and third batter out. Then Padikkal goes out in the 11th over. Then after that, it's just done. Maxwell goes in the show, he gets out. De Villiers goes in the show on an even better strike rate, on a strike rate 223, insane. And that's because they played well, right? And then they were around 150 with a 17 over mark. And for some reason, they decide. So Harbhajan was done with his innings. Chakravarti was done. Cummins was done. Prashant Khanna was done. They brought Shakib for 2 overs, and he had an economy of 12. So they decided to end the last 3 overs with Dre, Russ bowling the 18th and 20th over, and it was
that
awful.
That could not be a good decision.
56 runs in the last 3 overs. Andre Russell's economy was a 19. 56 in the last. That's like going back to death batting. 56 runs in last 3 overs will win you games. And this did more. They didn't even have to score. They could have scored 20 runs in the last 3 overs and still won the game. But that just gives that kind of like moment switch. Like, damn, like we threw something new at them and they just beat us, right? And then you're going back into your dugout, KKR's dugout. You're looking at your lineup. And you're thinking, who's going to play well in this lineup? Who's going to drop 200 against Siraj, Chahal, Sundar, Patel, right? And they played as a team very collectively average.
Okay, they had higher strike rates than I thought they did.
They did, actually, but it's about like
they really didn't actually.
No, I mean
Tripathi and Morgan, no. Actually, no, they didn't, because this is a type of match where you have to score really hard in the power play and then kind of settle in the middle overs and then go hard in the death overs, just like RCB did, right? And they just couldn't do that. And okay, there's a question about Morgan's captaincy. I understand that because he's the captain of the number 1 T20 side right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's coming into captain KKR, I don't think it's necessarily bad captaincy because, like, what are you supposed to do?
Here's the thing, so that's like
Maxwell and AB de Villiers. This match reminded me a lot of that one Gujarat Lions match in 2016,
231.
where like Rajasthan RCB scored like 248 runs against Gujarat Lions, where Kohli and AB de Villiers just went ham on them. Okay, and it's like, what are you supposed to do at that point? A captain can't do much.
Yeah, no, you can't. Right? And like I'm pretty sure Gujarat had the same process, or at least I would have the same idea that they had, where you just kind of have to go for it, and that's what, looking at it, that's what Nitish Rana. They really tried, and they had a really good start. They were they scored like less than 20. They scored like 20 runs in like the first 10 balls, right? Then Dan Christian pulls off a screamer. That wasn't that good. That was a really good hit, especially in the beginning.
He was brought in as a sub as well. So
yeah, he was Australian dude. Beautiful catch off Kyle Jamieson, and that kind of like, it just like, I mean, it was really early, right? It was like 20. It was before the second over, but they were still 23 runs in. Like that kind of set the tone. Like they. And
then dismiss. And then the best part about this, he dismissed the guy who was going at 2-3-3. So the guy who could actually pick you up the match,
right? Like the guy like they started off really well, and the guy who was just about to get off, beautiful catch. And from there on, KKR could not manage a partnership for more than 4 overs.
Yeah.
So Parthy got out. And the thing is, so if you look at the time frame, like look at the fall of wickets, it's very somewhat evenly balanced. Shubman Gill gets out 23 of 1 in 1.5 overs, 57 of 2, Ralph Parthy 5.6 overs, Nitish Rana 66 for 3, 6.5 overs, which is ideally good because you're losing wickets, but at a steady pace, you're still keeping runs. But then you're also losing the talent of the batting, right? DK is not playing how he used to be. Shakib not playing how he used to be. Dre Russ not playing like he used to be.
Well, he can't, because I don't know if DK should be bought in at 5. I think his ideal position is 6 or 7. I think Shakib should be bought in before him.
No, he did. So Dre Russ was brought in a lot late, I'm pretty sure. I forgot to mention Ian Morgan. I don't know. If you're gonna be the captain of the best international T20 side, you have to make things happen, and doesn't have to be doesn't become Dhoni, doesn't become a genius, but you have at least do it yourself. Like, you can't do anything right, do it yourself. He hasn't done that at all. Going back to the bowling,
but okay,
RCB.
Think about CSK's first match against Delhi, okay, where Shaw and Dhawan just completely batted them out of the game. I mean, Dhoni really couldn't do much during that match either. It was just
I'm saying this game was so. Not that this game was winnable, amazingly, but when Morgan came in, they were 74 for 4, 8.3 overs. So you got to score 120 runs in around 12 overs. And if I'm captain, 20 off 23 is not good enough. Maybe if I get 50 off 27. Maybe if I get 60
I'm not
30.
saying Morgan's innings is good enough. I'm saying Morgan is captain. I want to separate Morgan the batsman and Morgan the captain.
I'm saying Morgan the captain has to initiate Morgan the batsman to do better than scoring under 30 runs.
Okay, yeah. Then I can agree with you. Yeah.
And
because KKR should not have won, maybe, but they should have gotten closer to the target. Yeah. Because losing by 40 runs is
I think I said this before. They're not playing Sunil Narayan, right? But Narayan, Dre Russ, and Morgan, at their best, should be unbelievable. They're not. Yeah. They're subpar.
Where would you place Narayan?
They're not under the potential.
Narayan used to be a pinch hitter at the top for them. So where would you place
I don't know things. He's not playing well either. I don't know what to do with him.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But yeah, at their best, they would be able to chase.
Maybe take out Cummins, right? But like Chakravarti, they keep putting this graphic that this dude's the only dude to have taken 5 wickets last year, and what is he doing with that? I don't give a damn, right? Dre Russ, useless, right? He's not this dude wants to start power hitting when 58 off 17.
Yeah, okay. That was a little dumb to watch. That was a little,
So Nitish Rana, I think, has the statistic for most runs by an uncapped player in the IPL. I think Nitish Rana is too good for KKR, or at least he's too consistent.
I did not think he would pop off in this tournament, honestly.
And he's doing well.
Because he didn't do that great last tournament, okay?
He didn't, but he started
fine.
off really well. I think he had 82 first game. He's been the best batter, right? But once again, going back to RCB's bowling, right? They still allowed 166. That's because they have their overseas players costing too many runs. If you take out Jameson and Glenn Maxwell, Yuzvendra Chahal was their worst bowler. And if Chahal's your worst bowler, Chahal 4 overs,
Chahal went 2 wickets. No, he still got 2 wickets, 850.
Yeah. Okay. And he was the worst bowler. That's really good. Chahal really. Sundar with an even lower economy with one wicket. Harshal Patel once again 2 wickets, 4.25 economy. Mohammad Siraj is also cheap,
off, man.
right? Like Siraj Patel are doing really well, and then Sundar comes in here and there, and Chahal's statistically speaking, Chahal's one of your 4th worst bowlers.
But did you come into this tournament being like, all right, Harshal Patel is gonna light everybody up?
No, I thought Chahal would be Chahal, and he's not been Chahal. But everyone else is playing even better. Like them 3 collectively is better than what Chahal's best is. Right, and like going back, Kohli and Chahal were the main pins of RCB's potential to make playoffs in the previous years. Right, you have Kohli as your best batsman, maybe outside maybe De Villiers, and then you have Chahal as your best spinner. Right, like he can bowl death overs if you had to. Those players aren't playing well, and this team is still 3-0. 4-0, whatever the
And Harshal Patel is now purple cap. So
yeah. I think what does he have? He has 12 wickets.
No, he has 9 wickets. But it's fine. Yeah. But he only took 2 this match, but still.
Only 2. 5, 2, and 2. I think that.
I know we're saying only 2.
Relatively pedestrian
before we move on, I want to address a couple things because there's important news about this match. So one, RCB are 3 for 3 now. Okay, do you think it was the Chinnaswamy pitch that was ruining their chances in the last few IPL seasons? Because they seem to. Because it's really hard to outbat an opponent in Chinnaswamy. You know.
This is a different team, so I can't really say if.
I guess it's also I think they just have a better team this time as well.
The players that are playing well are like David Pardikal was their leading batsman last year, right? He's not playing well, but other people are. People that haven't played before, right? Siraj is new, Patel's new. It'd be actually interesting who wins emerging player, Siraj or Patel. Is there an age requirement or age cap? 23. Oh, then it's not Patel. Pretty sure Harshal Patel.
No, I think both Siraj and Harshal Patel are both in there. I didn't actually check it.
Harshal Patel 8. Harshal Patel's 30 years old. Jesus Christ.
No, so he's not in there. Siraj is going to be in there though. Yeah.
Siraj is 27.
Really? No, actually?
Yeah.
Am I stupid? Okay, wow, okay.
But I mean, his T20 cap was 3 years ago. That just shows you how hard it is to get into the lineup, bro.
No, to get into the Indian team.
Goddamn magician. Okay.
I mean, what's his face? Saine's gotten there when he's 30, right, or something like that.
Yeah. So all these games are.
Okay, no. One more thing. One more thing before we move on. AB de Villiers. So the World T20 is happening in India. AB de Villiers wants to come out of retirement and go for South Africa, and try to help them win. South Africa's in shambles right now because their government is like, we don't support the cricket team anymore or some shit. So we don't even know if they're going to participate in the T20 tournament. But if they do, there's a possibility that AB de Villiers joins them. And if they do, they won automatically. The way he's going right now. So, But that's just some news I wanted to address. So AB de Villiers is in the form of his life. And I'm so sad he had to retire. But let's move on to Game 11.
So who do you think is the man of the match?
Dude, I don't know. RCB, just AB de Villiers. He's always the man of the match, in my opinion.
This is the first time that this team has won their first 3 games.
Yes, and the reason I'm having such a hard time saying words on it is I've never seen RCB in this position before. It's like, what am I supposed to say, dude? Okay. At the beginning of the season, I can say some words on it, I think. Okay. At the beginning of the season, I said that if RCB do not sort out their death bowling, they would be in like 6th place or something, right? Mm-hmm. I then made an even bolder shout saying that no, AB de Villiers and Glenn Maxwell are going to pop off and RCB are in my top 4. So they did sort out their death bowling. I mean, Siraj, and Harshal Patel are coming off on their death bowling. So that's the only reason. It's what is separating the good sides from the bad sides is the bowling.
Okay. It's not bowling. It's about position, like taking that position to win. Something Sunrisers have failed to do 3 times. Something that RCB has done.
That's a better way of explaining it. Yeah.
And that's what I said about Mumbai too, right? When Mumbai took out KKR, Mumbai had a bad batting game, right? KKR had a really good bowling game, and still KKR left too much gap for them to get bowled out, whatever the hell it was, right? Like it's about those, like that's what it means in a team sport when you have the best players, right? Even though it's the team sport, you still need your best players to show up when they can, and RCB's best players, like I wouldn't even say Harsh, but like on form right now, Harsh Patel is one of the better bowlers, right? That's form. That's the ability to win, right? But when you need to, De Villiers will give you 70. Max will give you 60, right? Jahil gets a
And like
wicket.
their foreign bowlers are not doing anything. That's what I mean. Like so in T20s, I value bowling higher than I do batting because
Yeah,
in
and
my
then
opinion, everybody should be able to bat. But it's your bowlers who win you the matches.
That's
At the beginning of the
interesting.
season, I said that the foreigners on the RCB team are not going to bowl well, okay, and they're not. And I do not see any Indian bowler besides Chahal, okay, who can really bowl like a team out, okay. But they've been able to find Siraj, Patel, and Chahal to some extent, okay. They've been able to find them and really utilize them correctly in the death overs, and been able to bowl the opposition out. And I think that's key. And their fielding, as much as we like to give Kohli flack for fielding because he drops a fair bit of catches himself, okay, Kohli's ground fielding is still pretty damn good, okay? So, their fielding has also been extremely good. And something very underrated in this IPL is teams drop a lot of catches in this IPL, way more than other IPLs. And when you drop catches, for example, you drop Pollard, okay? You just are giving teams extra runs. So, you need everything in a T20 game. Even, and you need to balance everything. Bowling is number one in my opinion in T20s, but you still need everything to fire. So,
and then going obviously about bowling, right? I think batting has always been an Indian batsman besides David Warner once, right? Getting the orange cap. Purple cap usually has been not Indians. Like when I think of purple caps, I'm thinking Rabada, Malinga. I think Bhuvi won it twice, right? I'm looking through it right now. Dwayne Bravo won it twice. Andrew Ty won it once. Andrew Ty is right now, right? It's a lot of overseas players, overseas bowlers that take the 1 and 2 spot. And ironically enough, we're talking about RCB as if like they're gonna guarantee win the championship, but RCB's overseas bowlers are easily the worst, right? Like Riley Meredith is not good, maybe like 2 balls a game, right? It's usually like Rabada and it's the
you mean Kyle James?
Norjay. Yeah, I think Kyle James, yeah. It's usually the Rabada, Norjay, Rashid Khan, Jafar Archer that take over, right? And the thing is, Mumbai have the next 2 better bowlers, right? They have Bolt and Bumrah. RCB is doing this.
But think about it.
With relatively...
When has a team... Like, Mumbai has never really been up there in the orange cap or the purple cap, and they have 5 trophies.
They have Bumrah and Bolt.
Okay, no. But they've never, like, won one. Okay? It's always... Look at the back. Like, it's always been teams who have had individual performances, like KL Rahul, who you could say has a selfish performance last season, which is why he won the orange cap, okay? And that does not help the team. You have to have the team performance. You cannot have 1 or 2 guys firing,
I mean, yeah, but if you look at, like, for 20... like, Boomer and Bolt were 2nd and 3rd last year, right? Behind Rabada, and they won...
No, I'm saying they still have to be up there. They still have to be up there. I'm saying winning, okay? Because we place so much, stock on winning the orange cap, winning the purple cap, and all that. At the end of the day, you can win the purple cap by taking out all the tail enders and the death overs, or you can win the orange cap by having a strike rate of 110 and just batting out all the overs, right?
Yeah.
But that's not helpful to your team, so it's
well, I think
so.
Caleb Rahal didn't bat selfishly. He just had a
no.
awful...
I mean, he had to. Kings 11 did not have a middle order less.
Speaking of, speaking of Kings 11 not having a middle order, speaking of Caleb Rahal, Delhi wins on 6 wickets, 198 for 4, chasing after 18.2 overs. With Punjab finished 195 for 4, and once again, this reminisces of last year's catastrophe of a team, KL Rahul, Kings 11.
This has happened twice, almost to Punjab now. Okay,
and it's happened every single game.
No. I mean, this season, okay, Punjab almost gave up 220 to Rajasthan, okay, and now they gave up 195 to Delhi. So what is this where
10 balls left?
Yeah. So what is this thing where Punjab cannot defend totals anymore?
So they never could.
Have they just gotten unlucky with the toss or something? Because KL Rahul is not. They never
could. That's the thing. Last year they could score like 170 and they get chased down because they have Chris Jordan being the leader.
Are they seriously the new RCB? They have all the RCB players, the RCB jersey. Now they can't defend totals around 200.
So I think the biggest concern is Nicholas Puran. I want to say he ducked last game.
They have Chris Gale and KL Rahul too, so they're truly the new RCB. But go ahead.
If you look at the top four, Rahul, Mayank, Chris Gale, Deepak Hooda. If I'm looking at this team, if I'm looking at those four from a holistic perspective all throughout, I'm thinking Chris Gale is number one, right? Easily. KL Rahul on recent form has been really, really well too. Mayank Agarwal, including last year, has been like a really good sidekick for KL. And then Deepak Hooda has had good knocks, right? Like last game, like 64 of 28 or something. I don't know.
Puran has not been able to fire.
Puran's not been able to fire, right?
My prediction at the beginning of the season was he should be the number 4. I can see now why they went with Hooda instead of Puran at number 4.
And here's the thing: Mayank Agarwal went so KL shot at 120 strike rate. Mayank went 192. I'm looking at this batting. Wait, hold on.
I might disagree with you here, okay? But this is where I'm saying KL Rahul is batting. Okay, selfishly is not the right term because he's not trying to make the team lose, okay? But this is what I'm saying. Like, you cannot bat at 120 strike rate at Mumbai, okay, when the pitch is this hot, okay, and expect that to be good innings. Like, this is like Deepak Hooda's innings and Shah Rukh Khan's innings, even though they scored less runs, are much better innings in my opinion than this. Okay?
I think Deepak Hooda's innings are better.
At this point, KL Rahul, I'm like, you should just get out, okay?
What you have to consider is that I don't know who this Lukman Mediwala is, but Chris Wilkes, Ashwin Rabada, and Avesh Khan is still a very good bowling lineup. So like,
no, DC obviously has a
and like
bowling lineup,
so
it's going to be obviously difficult. But
usually,
still.
I think KL is usually the one that it's usually the other way around. He's usually the one with the strike rate like above 150, and Mayank is like
Are we saying Mayank Agarwal is going at a strike rate of almost 200, and KL Rahul can't even go at a strike rate of 120? Are we seeing this?
So
in the same match.
My big takeaway from this is that I know KL he put 61 and 51, not amazing, especially since they didn't win. They could have definitely used that extra push. But my thing here is, I'm looking at this batting performance and I'm thinking, how do you lose? Because not only did they score almost 200, they also had command. Like, it's not even like they were losing because towards the end, they still had command towards the end of the game, right? Like, Nicholas Puran got out, but Deepak Hooda 22 off 13, Shah Rukh Khan 15 off 5. Combined the two, but they both got 37 off 18. That's a really good way to finish.
I mean, they lost because of a gem from Dhawan.
That's what it's annoying. Like, I'm looking at this batting performance, I'm thinking, how do you lose, right?
Like, if Dhawan does not play that, Dhawan does not play that gem. Yeah. He plays his usual 30 off of 20 and gets out, right? They're not winning the game. Well, I can see what you're saying. But
time. So one thing about Kings 11 is that they took 15 overs until they both got out, which I think is really impressive, right? Rabada was the most expensive bowler, which is normally not the case. I don't think I can remember the last time he was. Shikhar Dhawan has had good performances when he's had to in IPL. I stand by that.
No, I agree. Completely agree.
Riley Meredith, god awful. The only reason he got out Steve Smith was because Steve Smith decided to slice the ball in some ungodly way, and that could have lost in the game, honestly. Jai Richardson got some wickets here and there that kind of slowed down, the runs. But let's get to the bowling. Arshdeep Singh, pretty good. Shami, awful. Meredith, awful. And you're going against the second best batter in India, the ex-captain of Australia, and Prithvi Shaw. And Prithvi Shaw didn't have a great game either, but he still had a good knock.
But Prithvi Shaw is the highest
good knock.
domestic score or whatever. That's something he was.
It's just awful. Yeah. Like, I'm like the Kings 11. They're batting phenomenal.
This was a carbon copy of the CSK game.
It's a carbon copy of Kings 11.
The first CSK game.
It's a carbon copy of Kings 11, and you're looking at.
Of Kings 11 Rajasthan's game, except Kings 11 won that game. So
no, I'm talking about last year. Kings 11 did this every single year, where they would have Mayank and KL.
Did they?
Drop.
Actually, did not pay too much. They did not pay too much attention.
Mayank and KL were first and second for like the first 6 games of the series, 6 games of the league, and they were 0-6 because this opening partnership would drop 100 runs on average per game, and would lose. They would find a way to lose.
I could see that. Yeah.
And So Irfan
But also,
Pathan tweeted
after
that,
5, after 5, who does Kings 11 have?
so I understand that, right? They have Shah Rukh Khan.
Is that an unfair
right?
question, or
No,
do you think
it's not an
that,
unfair question. I'm saying,
or do you think it's really their bowling that's the problem?
most teams have a good middle order. They just haven't had to. They just don't always perform, right? And that makes sense because they're not regular batters. They don't have to always perform. Because a lot of times you can't have Shikhar Dhawan always drop 60 runs. You can't always have, Kohli do this, right? But it's like Kohli, Dhawan, Rohit, David Warner, right? KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal did this. Mayank did this in his first, second season, right? KL did this in his second, third season, right? They arguably, I mean, I can't think of a more just that partnership, opening partnership, a better opening partnership in IPL, just them two.
Okay.
Just what they did for stats, and that's why I'm not even blaming the middle order because they don't. The middle order doesn't have to even get there, right? This team still scores a lot of runs.
No, I see what you mean. It's a team that has Chris Gale batting at 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
God awful. Irfan Pathan tweeted Chris Jordan for Kings 11. Chris Jordan wasn't any good for them last year either. He had a couple good games. They just I'm telling Arshdeep Singh can't be your best bowler. He's a good bowler.
No, I completely agree. Because who do they replace these people with? The bowlers. They don't have anybody.
Yeah, and the overseas players are awful. And Shami played awful. Honestly, even if Shami played a decent game,
here's the thing. Shami should be better, and he should be the leader of the attack. But he's not doing good.
He's not.
That's the thing.
Excuse me. He's not, and it's actually pathetic. So easily, best player is Shikhar Dhawan. Worst player is either Shami or Riley Meredith. I don't even know what Riley Meredith.
No, I'm gonna give it to Shami because A, Meredith took a wicket. Okay, B, Shami should be the leader of the attack. He seriously should. Okay, but he's not.
4 wickets, 53 runs. I mean, inexcusable.
Shami played the World Cup for India. Okay, and he plays Tests for India. Okay, and he's doing this.
So another boring game, but another CSK domination. I have much to say. CSK played. I mean,
Dude, I don't understand how they're doing it. Seriously, I actually don't.
If you look at
after the first CSK match, I'm like they're done. They're 8th place. Okay?
Yeah, we both were it's over. And
here's the thing: during their batting, I was mad during their batting. Okay. So we'll go into the first innings. How about that? So, Samson won the toss. Okay, and he put Chennai into bat first. Okay. And then I'm looking at this attack, and I'm like, Dhoni, you've not changed this attack after 3 matches. Are you sure you want to keep Gaikwad there? Are you sure you want to keep Duplessis there? I mean, Duplessis only went at 100 strike rate in the last match. He answered my complaints, Dhoni, and I'm sitting here wondering why I ever questioned Dhoni in the first place. Only thing is still, okay? I mean, yeah, I know. We always question Dhoni when we shouldn't, okay? Here's the thing. I still stand by it. Gaikwad, I'm not even saying drop him for good, okay? I'm saying drop him so he gets practice. Okay? And then bring him back into the team. And also, no, seriously, because there's times where you drop a player, okay, couple games, you bring them back and they score good, okay? That's all you need to do. B, Gaikwad is young, okay? Young-ish, okay? By IPL standards, young, okay? And he has plenty more time to work on his technique and improve. I mean, we were all yelling at Shaw, okay? For screwing up during the test series, okay? Shaw got dropped after 1 test match, okay? And he goes and has a banger domestic season, okay? Comes back and is one of DC's best batsmen. So I think we need to do the same thing with Gaikwad. But I know Dhoni's still going to give him one more match, and because CSK is winning,
he should.
And because CSK is winning, I don't think it's that big of a deal, okay?
He's played better than Sahar. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No, okay, that's true. So what I mean by I just want to see Pujara up there, honestly, okay? Pujara cannot be much worse than Gaikwad, seriously, okay?
I don't know about that, man. Pujara is a very tough.
No, that's a joke. No, it's a joke. But I'll be pretty funny if Pujara's there. But because CSK is winning so far, having Gaikwad in their match is
not about winning. They're winning convincingly, right? Last game.
No, that's true.
They made the best. They made a team that batted 195 one game, bat 106. And then chase that total with with more than 5 overs left.
Yes, but it's the bowlers again. It's always the bowlers.
And then they drop 190 by 45 runs. And this is the crazy part, right?
So I want to touch on this. Hold on. I want to touch on this, okay? Faf du Plessis I thought he could never be an aggressor. He was the aggressor in this match. Okay, and Moeen Ali still showing you why he should be, and why he's one of the best buys of the tournament, and easily CSK's best player in my opinion. Okay, Suresh Raina. Okay, still, first match he did amazing. Second match not so much. Third match he's still struggling. I think he'll be fine though. He'll find his form. Okay, Raidu always doing good. Jadeja, Dhoni, I'm sad about, but it is a time is done situation. Hopefully Dhoni can find something. Okay, Karan, Bravo, Thakur, Chahar. What we see from this is, no person has scored more than 33. Faf is your highest run scorer, and they got all the way to 188. Okay.
Yeah. So
this just proves team performance.
I was going to say that this is
okay.
I don't think I've seen a more team performance like this. CSK's highest score in the match was 33, while Rajasthan's was 49. Yet Dhoni's team wins by 45 runs.
It's kind of amazing. This is like beautiful CSK win. Okay, you shit house your way to a decent total. Okay, and then you just spin your opposition out of the match. Okay, this was like vintage CSK, and I wanted it. Okay.
I think one thing that really surprised me was, so like we said, we thought CSK needed reinforcements both in like getting rid of Gaikwad, putting in better batting, or getting rid of whoever for Tahir, right? We thought they would be useful on both sides.
My thing was getting rid of. No, actually, I was saying get rid of Faf and bring in Ngidi. Okay, clearly I'm stupid because Faf can bat at 194.
No, okay, but point being is that we thought they needed reinforcements in both ends, right? That's what we were saying. Tahir or Ngidi or get rid of Gaikwad, right? Then they come out in the next game against arguably one of the best top four, top heavy batting orders, and they make them hit under 110. Then they go against Anadkart, Chetan Sakaria, Mustafizur Rahman, and Chris Morris and drop 190. Not the best lineup, but Sakaria's on good form. Still caught 3 wickets today. Anadkart came off a 4-wicket performance. Rahman is still a decent Bangladeshi bowler. Chris Morris is still a really powerful bowler. Dawati and Parag is all-rounders. That's whatever, right? They still did really well to completely they showed they could do both sides in 2 games against very competitive, against 2 very competent teams. I think it was a relatively pedestrian game. Sakaria played well, but I think the pitch, at least however they bowled, Jadeja and Moeen Ali both get 5 wickets. Moeen Ali was bloody.
Jadeja's spot better never ever be taken over until he retires in the Indian team. He's worth 5 fielders to India, especially because India's fielding is dog shit. Okay, and he's like the only good fielder in India. Okay, besides Pandya. Okay, and they both need to be in there every match. Okay. And not only that, he takes 2 wickets, okay? And he takes out Joss Butler, the only guy who looked to put any sort of resistance up, okay? And it was just beautiful. This was just beautiful, okay? This was actually... Dude, I texted you after this match today, okay? And I'm like, dude, I'm so mad at CSK. I'm so mad at Gaikwad, okay? Like, they need to win. They need to get 200, okay? They cannot win against Rajasthan unless they get 200, okay?
Yeah.
And then after 7 overs, I'm like, dude, Butler and everybody else, okay, are taking them out of the game, okay? They're gonna get this total. We're all sad, okay? CSK's trash, okay? And then, Sanju Samson still repeating his I only score good in 1 match of the IPL and then I never do good again streak, okay? Manan Vora, I understand Manan Vora is good, okay? And I've seen him do good, 2014 especially, okay? But,
There's
here's the
something
thing
about Kings 11, bro, where you just play for Kings 11 and they just play their best.
Kings 11, RCB, although RCB may no longer be the meme team anymore, sadly, okay?
At the beginning, I'm pretty sure that lineup started off with Vora and Sehwag, and I think that's the best. Clyde Maxwell, George Bailey, David Miller, Vidim Saha. I mean, I'm probably just talking crap.
I had time today, okay? So I sat down to watch Rajasthan Royals chase, okay? And I'm like, this is going to be the best thing ever, okay? Because I came into the match when Shardul Thakur decided to run down the pitch all the way, okay, when Bravo was batting, okay? And Bravo had no idea that he was about to take a run, okay? And that was like complete shithousery. That's what I mean by CSK's batting. It's kind of hilarious, okay? So I'm like, okay, this is stupid, okay? And I come into this, and I do not expect CSK to do anything. I'm like, okay, the dew is going to affect them, okay? Rajasthan is going to walk over all of their spinners. Okay, we see Chris Morris and Tewatia, and they're all good. Okay, and for some reason Rajasthan decide to bring up Dubé at 4 for some reason, which I don't even know why Dubé's in the team. Okay, but whatever. And dude, it was so brilliant. Jadeja takes out Joss Butler. Okay, and Sam Curran, brilliant as always in the power play. Okay, and then Dubé goes and Jadeja takes out Dubé, okay? And Dubé goes through the review, okay? And the review is umpire's call or some shit, okay? So they retain the review, but it's out, okay? Then Moeen Ali goes and LBW's David Miller, okay? And David Miller does not take the review. So Dubé takes the review. Miller does not take the review, okay?
He can
for some reason. And
you
then
only get one review.
Yeah, and then Moeen Ali takes out Parag. Okay, Dwayne Bravo gets in there with his death bowling, takes out Tewatia. Moeen Ali takes out Chris Morris. Shardul Thakur gets in there with a nut cut, okay? And they just batted them out completely. At one point, they needed 66 off of 11, okay? And
that's
that was my...
You're chasing.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. And I still thought, okay? And I still thought somehow they're going to be able to do this, but that's just me being a stupid, dumbass CSK fan, because we like to do that to ourselves for some reason, okay? But after last season kind of scarred me a little bit, okay? But I think they might be back. Hopefully they're back, okay? This is beautiful. This is classic. I'm telling you, it's classic CSK where you shit house yourself to a par total, okay? Because this was a par total, okay? Even Dhoni said at the end of the match or some shit, okay? There's somebody said at the end of the match they were like 5 to 10 runs behind, okay? And they just spun them out of the tournament. They literally spun them out of the match, okay?
I saw something about how this was like old school.
Jadeja was involved in 6 of the wickets. That's kind of impressive. Jadeja took 2 wickets, and he was involved in 4 of the catches. Okay, and everywhere you look, Dhoni just places Jadeja. He places Gaikwad. He places he places Moeen Ali in these locations, okay? And the ball always comes into them where they don't even have to run, okay? They just go and catch it, okay? And this just speaks testament to if Dhoni's not the batsman anymore, okay? He will still be he will still be the leader of the team. He's still the wicketkeeper. And he's still there for a reason.
He just lacks it. He literally just lacks it.
I'm just not gonna, he can retire whenever he wants. I don't even care.
He just lacks athleticism. That's it.
I don't even care if CSK, because I want to see some new team win this IPL. Okay, I want to see CSK win, obviously, but if CSK does not win, I want to see RCB or Kings 11, although they're not gonna win, or some team like that, win the IPL, or Delhi, a team that's never won before. But at this point, it's just insane. I don't care what CSK does anymore after this. This is beautiful. And I will be watching these highlights. I will be watching these highlights forever. Okay. Match of the tournament right here. So good. This was better than the Punjab match too, because Punjab match was all about fast bowlers, and that's not the CSK way. Okay. CSK way is spinners and Jadeja. That's it. That's all you want. That's all I want to see. All right. Now you can keep talking after I gushed over this match.
You basically covered.
Yeah, I know. I said everything, but anything else you have to add?
So let me say overall, after 13 games, the table is looking like
Chahar was
RCB's 3-0, CSK's 2-1.
I think I'll say that.
DC's 2-1, Mumbai is 2-1, and then KK.
I'm glad we did it this time though, because every team has played 3 matches so far. I think, right? Am I right in my math? So. And the good thing, the last 2 wins for CSK, okay, have brought their run rate up plus 1.194, which is going to be helpful. RCB's run rate is, after their massive win against KKR, is 0.750, and Delhi and Mumbai also have pretty healthy run rates. KKR are Punjab have a minus 0.967, and they're just done in my opinion. And SRA.
So the thing is, no one
at this point. I'm thinking.
If anything, so going back to Kings, right? They start off 0 for 5 or something, and they came back to 6th place. So I don't think Sunrise is out, but it's just sad because, like I said, the last game they had it. They had to chase 150.
The last 2
and
games
they had 70 runs on the board, and then hit wicket, and then a run out, and it's just
it's been twice in a row. Yeah. They're the most unluckiest team in the tournament.
Kings 11 got smashed, which is why the run rate is so low by CSK. CSK smashed teams twice. This table is still not super
Okay, so
unachievable to
I
what we
ask you this.
predicted.
I ask you this. We have heavy recency bias, or at least I, and I also you, okay, but mostly me. We have heavy recency bias after seeing CSK and all the other teams, okay, do well. It's only 3 matches. Each team has 11 more matches to play, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do you see any of the KKR or Punjab or Sunrisers? Do you see any of them
Yes.
putting up a fight to come up to
Kane.
the top?
If Kane
I think
Williamson
I do.
comes, if Kane Williamson comes back, this team is fighting.
To Sunrisers, yeah.
Kings. I don't know. I just don't. They don't have like good bowling. Like it's not even like they have injuries for bowling. They just have to be better at bowling. Like I can't give them reinforcements for something that. Like,
It's not even that Sunrisers need to be better at bowling. They just need a more stable.
I'm saying
guy
King. I'm saying Kings. Kings. They're
Kings. Yeah. No. Kings need a better bowler. They don't have one. That's the thing.
Rajasthan. Unadkut's back. So I mean that helps, but
I'm honestly seeing. No, I'm being serious. Do you see Rajasthan should have lost that game against Delhi? Okay, in all honesty, but do you see Rajasthan like winning? Because I don't.
So I'm looking at the top four right now: RCB, CSK, Delhi, and Mumbai. The only team I see that has, the only team I see that has the full potential and has shown potential here and there to knock out one of the top four teams is Sunrisers. Not because Sunrisers have played anywhere better than KKR, Rajasthan, Kings 11, because they've not. Mm-hmm. They've literally underperformed 3 times. Mm-hmm. But they have Kane Williamson. And then Rashid Khan.
Yeah, but he's not even there yet. And we're placing so much stock on Kane Williamson. Imagine what happens if he comes in and he just fails. And I want him to do well.
So that's the thing. I think he's good. I think he's good enough to the point where I can really trust him. Whereas other people's returns Norwich
he's like at that Kohli, he's at that Kohli, David Lear's Gale.
Norwich is not back yet, right? I don't think he's as important as Kane Williamson.
He'll be back in the next match, yeah.
Rabada's coming back isn't as important. But if you have Rabada, you'll really need another death bowler. Okay. But it's gonna be really hard for Sunrisers are. I mean, they're 2 games out, technically speaking. But they're gonna have to be 2 games ahead of CSK, DC, and Mumbai. DC's not full strength yet. CSK is just getting started. Mumbai is not playing that well to their potential. RCB technically overplaying with their bowling, they're overperforming with their bowling, and the batting is decent. I think they won't finish top.
Let's run through for a second. I want to run through quickly before we talk about predictions. Okay, RCB. Do you see them falling?
I see them falling to 4th, not below 4th.
No, but how do you see them falling? I think it's the better question I want to ask.
I just think that other teams right now have been underperforming and RCB has been overperforming, and I just think they're they're good players, man, right?
But the problem I see with RCB...
The problem I see is not with RCB, is I'm looking at, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is going to become better, right? Rashid Khan is going to play better. Rabada is going to play better. Taka is going to be better. Chehra is going to be more consistent, right? I'm thinking about these other people who are a little bit rusty right now after 3 games. And I think after 6-7 games, this table will be a lot more tighter.
Okay. But it'll be good to check out.
It's no knock to Harsh Patel and Siraj. I love young talent. I just don't think that other people are performing as well. So I don't want to jump.
But here's my other thing with RCB. Okay, is this time if Kohli does not perform, they have Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell does not perform, they have AB de Villiers. If both of them do not perform, they have Kohli. Okay.
And they still
this one I'm like, okay, I like Particle, but no.
He's played well the entire season.
He's good, but he's not consistent. He's not reached the GOAT level yet.
He's done an entire season. That's why. Continue.
Yeah, I know. All right. As much as I like to gush on CSK, I do see them falling a little bit. Okay.
I see CSK falling. I see Mumbai and DC
they
going
climb
up for
back.
sure.
But here's the thing. Here's my problem with CSK. Okay, they played the 2 easiest sides of the tournament. They played Punjab and they played Rajasthan. Okay, and good. You've gotten great victories over both of them. Okay, the one tough team that you played is Delhi, and you didn't even have Norkia and you didn't have Rabada, and you still lost that match. You lost pretty bad. Okay, so
they lost because of batting.
I know, but my only fear with CSK is if they face teams with better batting, like Mumbai or Royal Challengers Bangalore, right? If they face, better teams with better batting than Sunrisers or Rajasthan or something like that, they're going to be outbatted. Okay, so that's my only fear. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but I could see CSK falling if that happens because right now they played the 2 easiest fixtures for them. Not Sunrisers. I think Sunrisers will still be a pretty easy fixture because they can outspin them again. But you know, they still have all their hard matches. They still have to play a match against RCB, against Mumbai, against Kolkata, against Sunrisers, and those are the teams that can that have great batting in my opinion.
So we've been talking for like an hour 20, so I want to wrap up real quick. I just want to say, when it comes to the playoffs, standings right now: RCB, CSK, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Rajasthan, Kings, Sunrisers. I think DC Mumbai will go up just because I don't think they've reached their full potential yet. Rabada's still not Rabada. Norche's not back yet. Dhawan's had some really good knocks already, but bowling wise, I think they could be better. Mumbai, I think batting wise, they could be a lot better, and the bowling is just perfectly compensating for it. The players performing. RCB is gonna drop. I just think I don't know how sustainable. I don't know how sustainable it is to be able to go undefeated or only lose one game in this kind of league. Pretty competitive. CSK will definitely drop, like you said. They played against the two weakest teams, arguably convincing performances, but still can't get on that bandwagon there. But they did do well to beat those teams with good net run rates. That'll help later.
Yeah, no, so the net run rates can help. So they don't need to worry, as much.
They don't have to worry about that. Yeah,
as long as they don't convincingly, they just have to win. Yeah.
And out of the bottom 4 teams, Sunrisers have the best net run rate, which just shows to me how little this team has. This team's
I know. They've come so close. They've failed at the last moment. Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I saw faith in them. Which is, honestly can go both ways. But yeah, I think we can cut it there.
My standings, my predictions. So first, let's go with your predictions for let's say we're gonna have the same discussion after the 6 matches point. Okay. So after 6 matches, okay, where do you see the table? Because I don't want to predict all the way to the end, okay? So where do you see the table after 6 matches?
So Chennai's next 3 games are against Kolkata, RCB, and Sunrisers. I see this table being a lot tighter than I see this table. I'd say RCB is still gonna be first, honestly. I think they'll fall.
I honestly think, in my opinion, let's just go with kind of end-ish goals.
I think Sunrisers
I think
will
Mumbai and DC will be 1 and 2, okay? And
6 games?
I personally think RCB will be, or CSK will be 3, RCB will be 4. Those are my top 4 in that order. So that's my prediction. It's probably going to be wrong.
In 6 games.
That's my prediction.
In 6 games.
Yeah, in 6 games. Mumbai and DC 1 and 2, and RCB 3, CSK 4 in 6 games.
I think RCB will still be second. DC will be higher. Mumbai will still be lower. I think it'll be DC, RCB, CSK, Mumbai.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. And then the bottom 4, I think will still be the same. Although I think Rajasthan will go all the way to the bottom. Punjab will also go all the way to the bottom, and KKR and Sunrisers will fight for 5 and 6. So.
Wait, I gotta actually go now. I have an assignment too.
All right. Last thing. Prediction for tomorrow's match is Mumbai and Delhi. What are we predicting for that? Delhi?
I believe in Delhi.
It is a new venue for Delhi. It is a new venue. Okay, fine, dude.
Don't like Mumbai.
We'll go. You go with Delhi. I go with Mumbai, I guess. Okay, and we'll discuss. Yeah. All right. Good conversation, and see you next time where we discuss more matches. All right.
Peace.
Bye, dude.
Bye.